The most recent Assassin's Creed Odyssey update added a lot of new features and changes, but Ubisoft did not tell you about everything. So let's take a look at the secret changes in this video, but first I want to highlight a new sort of tactic that someone found to be able to wear helmets and hoods during cutscenes. So let's get into it. If you enjoyed that, then a like would be super appreciated, and let's go. Being able to wear helmets or hoods during a cutscene has been one of the most requested features since launch, and I asked Bruno, the live content director, during interviews multiple times about this, but it never seems to be something they wanted to implant because it would take away from the emotions that they want to convey. Well, now there is something interesting going on because there seems to be a way to show headgear in cutscenes. Although it does require a tactic that I'm not able to replicate yet. But it's working, as you see right here in footage from James, where we see Cassandra with the Darius hood in a cutscene talking to other people. We got even more examples with other headgear, and even where Cassandra is wearing the Abstergo hat with the full armor while talking to other people as well. So how is he able to do it? Because it now for him works almost every time. Well, James says in the tweet that you see right here that you need to activate the photo modes before going into a cutscene. So first press the interact button and then immediately try to activate the photo mode. And it has to be a main story cutscene, it seems like. So part of a main story quest, like the cutscenes with more movement than just your character talking. So New Game Plus is of course a great place to test it out if you already finished the game. But like I already said, I'm unable to trigger it. I tried it multiple times, pressing the interact button and then immediately the photo mode, but I never appear with a headgear in a cutscene. But yeah, we see that it's possible with James being able to do it multiple times in different cutscenes with different headgear. So I would say let's just all try this tactic multiple times and see if we can find a good way to always trigger it. Because that would of course be really cool. I will put what James said in the pinned comment so you can easily read it and try it out for yourself. Maybe it's only possible on PC because James is playing on the PC, but we also have niemand op deze wereld via Instagram sending me a picture of the Abstergo gear pack in a cutscene as well. And he's playing on the PS4, so I had no luck, maybe you have more luck. Totally let me know in the comments down below and maybe we find a way to always make this work. I would love to then highlight that in a future video. And it seems to be something that happened since the latest update because I heard nobody talk about it before that. Now let's take a look at the secret changes from this most recent update. Remember, for example, the Staff of Hermes that you were first holding very painfully at the tip of the spear. Well, our hands can now finally rest, because with this update they changed it, so you now hold it normally. It only took 5 months, but we finally can hold this spear as we should. By the way, Alan got the staff again in the New Game Plus mode after finishing of course the Atlantis story, and he actually got 2 of them as we see in this picture, while normally when you get a legendary drop in the New Game Plus mode, the same item that you already got will be upgraded to a higher level. So now I'm curious, does the chance to ignore half damage actually scale with 2 of these weapons? Because then you would have 80% chance that you ignore half of the damage that you receive, and that would be insane actually. I asked Alan about this, but no answer yet. It will be interesting to know for sure. The legendary perk of course doesn't stack, but that common perk should, right? Another secret change is that we can finally see the Hammer of Evastos in the visual customization window, where first this awesome looking mace was missing after we got it from Argas. Now we can use it while wearing other heavy blunt weapons as well. It's strange though that the Steropist's bow is still nowhere to be found in the bow menu. And speaking of the visual customization window, if you switch from Cassandra to Alexios in the New Game Plus mode, you will now see the Acolyte set there as well that you can unlock. And yes, this goes the other way around as well, as you see in this nice shot from Zavik with Alexios in the regular Wonder Woman style Amazon set. We got some new additions in the map window, like an icon for the Evastos workshop near the Myzen cave, and the compass obviously showed up as well. That shows us the direction of course, but also more interesting, this sort of Greece building icon. And I would not be surprised if this was linked to the Atlantis DLC, that this is some sort of indication of what world you are currently in. As we know, there will be a new world to explore in this Season Pass DLC, so maybe then the icon of the compass will change when we enter that new location. Zjerin on Twitter noted this theory as well. Right now all we know is that they added this compass all of a sudden, while Ubisoft did not know this in the patch notes. Some small things that they added include the star in the save menu that indicates that you are playing on a New Game Plus save or a regular save. You can now instantly see if quests are completed with a completion mark in the quest menu, and the arenas were of course touched in the New Game Plus mode with increased difficulty for higher levels. And we now also see that you get Drag Me at the end of doing an arena run. And the Drag Me was of course also increased compared to the previous update, but we touched on that a while back. We at least got one new weekly bounty that Ubisoft did not tell us about, with likely more to come. A task for Kratos appeared that had us kill enemies with specific weapons and abilities, but that was the only, like I said, new weekly bounty that we saw so far. Because after that we got pretty grindy ones, like the current Smoking Waters one that we already had a few months back, where we have to kill all sorts of ships. But yeah, I would not be surprised if this Tuesday or later we would see another bounty that we did not know about before. Another secret change, or actually secret addition, are new stats in the Ubisoft Club section of the game. Just go to your stats and then you can see how many orichalcum and ability points you have acquired. 2,404 orichalcum. Not bad, but still no Hades Lieutenant. That is the sad truth. And yes, I think I bought an item from the weekly selection like once maybe, so you can do the calculation as to how many Olympian gifts I bought. So yes, we of course already discussed the big secret change regarding the sun hat that was first called just sun hat, that will protect you from the sun and not much else, to being called Talia's overprotective sun hat with a way more fleshed out description. Well, turns out that if you got the item, that you cannot dismantle or sell it, as Jort pointed out on Instagram. And this was actually the case when it was just called Sun Hat. So they did not only change the name, but also made it so that you now cannot remove it. So there is really more going on with this item, because not being able to dismantle it or sell it means that it has some sort of value, like a legendary item or a Ubisoft Club item, for example. Another piece to the puzzle, I'm really curious to see what this item will be used for. The sunburn resistance we of course touched on likely has to do with it. And this was also actually a secret change that appeared in the engraving window without warning. So yes, these secret changes are things that Ubisoft did not tell us about in their patch notes, but strangely enough there is also a line in the patch notes that talks about a tamed animals deal poison damage legendary engraving and how they fixed it so it's not unlocked from the beginning. Evan pointed this out to me on Twitter, and it's very interesting indeed, because this legendary engraving doesn't even exist. So does this mean that in the future we will likely get an engraving that gives our animals poison damage? Maybe an upcoming weapon has this legendary perk from a gear pack or something? Should be very cool. I also wanted to touch on the hero sword that we discussed in my previous video. So this sword was used in the first E3 2018 reveal gameplay, but it's not obtainable in the game right now. Many people pointed out that this sword is also the sword that you use in one of the coolest cutscenes in the game. Maybe even my favorite cutscene, where we fight soldiers with brazidas. But yeah, the thing is that no matter what weapon you are using at the time that the cutscene starts, you always have this snake copis weapon in your hand. A weapon that they used again many times for promotions, but is not in the main game. Well, now it's actually in the main game, but in a cutscene, and then after that you don't have it anymore. It's really strange and weird. No word from Ubisoft sadly about this yet, but we'll totally ask when I get the chance. This Tuesday we got a new Lost Tales of Greece mission coming. Friday the Assassin's Creed 3 remastered, so good times ahead. I will totally have some Assassin's Creed 3 remastered videos coming your way, and of course I will stream the weekly reset here on Tuesday, so keep an eye out for that. So subscribe to stay up to date on everything Assassin's Creed if you haven't already. Like the video to support channel, and now as always we go to the Equal store to see if we can finally get the freaking Hades Lieutenant. How's the weekend treating you, Sargon? Yeah? No plans? Okay, I thought so. Okay, let's just immediately go and open the Olympian gifts. Heavy spear, assassin, fire damage. Assassin and fire damage. Not an amazing combo. I'm holding my orichalcum. Whoa, there are two guys. Yes. Oh, paralyzing arrows. Face my wrath. Oh, yeah. Yes, and I'm immediately getting my arrow back. No, I'm holding my orichalcum for something special that I got planned that you will see in a... Oh, that's the guy from last time. That you'll see in a second. Or actually in a second on the channel. a little later. We got new blood there. Really nice. It's a real bloodbath, as you see why there. Subscribe, as I already said, for everything Odyssey. Like the video to support the channel. Check out my recent video on that snake Copis sort of hero sword. And my recent Assassin's Creed 3 remastered video is also up here on the screen. I will speak to you next time, and goodbye.